Hello Ninja Warriors. So today's session is going to be all about 7 higher order thinking skills questions for your upcoming JEE Advanced 2025. Okay. So you have to challenge yourself in this particular session. You're going to skyrocket your thinking ability in this particular session. Purely question oriented session, but yes, just in case you need a little brush up of concepts, I'll be here. I'll be doing that, and quickly let me know in the chat box that ma'am, you're perfectly audible, perfectly visible, so we can start today's session. Okay, all right. So for all of those who are new to the channel, hi Kushal, good afternoon. For all of those who are new to the channel or new to my session, who don't know me, this is my brief introduction. My name is Namrata and I have over more than 10 years of teaching experience in both online and offline, and I have taught in one of the best institutes across the country. You can see on your screen, I have taught and mentored 1000+ students in both online and offline, and I have already mentored top all India ranks as well, got thousands of various selection in IITs, NITs and IIITs and other reputed colleges. Okay, all right. So Mr. Babu, good name, Mr. Babu. Good afternoon. Okay, so quickly start today's session with the very first question, and you know what? These questions are taken from your Eklavya batch. I don't know how many of you know about it, but Eklavya batch is all about bringing the brightest minds together, and we at Vedantu do not want to take any chance that okay, this student has some potential, so we are making sure in this Eklavya batch that he gets the right exposure, right academic, right guidance, right support which is needed to crack JEE Advanced. So these questions are carefully picked from Rank Accelerator book from Eklavya batch. Okay, hi Gina, how are you? Hi Umang. So we are going to start right away, and yesterday I was having one mentorship session. So we have started mentoring JEE 2026 aspirants one-on-one. In that session, me, Shreya sir and Diksha ma'am all were coming together, and we spoke about this. So one student was like, ma'am, I am facing JEE Advanced question difficulty in some problems related to differentiability, derivatives. So that's why I kept the very first question from the world of differentiation. So they used to say, ma'am, JEE main level we can do, but JEE Advanced level derivatives questions is slightly on the trickier side, slightly on the difficult side. So the very first question is very good question that I have taken it from the world of differentiability. And if you have not liked the session, what are you waiting for? Come on, JEE Advanced session requires a lot of hard work in terms of teachers' hard work. So you have to like the session, right? I can see Raj Lakshmi. Okay, so now and I can see Harim. So without wasting any time, let's start today's session. So the very first question on your screen, good question I would say. Fx is given as x square mod cos pi by x when x is not equals to 0. Correct? Now your options, if and fx is equals to 0 when x is equals to 0. I can clearly see that the options are talking about that fx is differentiable or not differentiable at x equals to 0. So my brain is like, okay, the first thing we have to check the differentiation at x equals to 0, right or wrong? So very first thing in this question is x equals to 0. What about the second thing? Can anybody tell me? What about the second thing? Now second thing in this question is talking about x is equals to 2 upon odd number. 2 upon, can you see, odd number. This 2n plus 1 is what? Odd number when n is an integer. So ma'am, 2n plus 1 is an odd number. 2 by odd number. Hold on ma'am, hold on. 2 by odd number. So it would be great if you simplify the question, because this 2n plus 1 is going to make the question very, very difficult. So what you can do is put n equals to 0. So you are going to talk about x equals to 2 only. So for one particular n, if you are able to calculate whether the function is differentiable or not, okay, then for every n it will be true. So why to check on 2 upon 2n plus 1? This is not making any sense, right? So that is why I am going to take x equals to 2, and if I put x equals to 2, this is going to become cos pi by 2. Pi by 2 is something which is familiar to us. So this is making sense. So this question is all about checking the differentiability of this function at x equals to 0 and x equals to 2. Now one by one we are going to check. Okay. So one by one we are going to check. We'll start from x equals to 0. So for that, let me just give you a brief about f dash x. Okay. Suppose you need to calculate f dash x by first principle. This is limit h tend to 0. Correct? Okay, 0 plus f of x plus h minus f of x upon h. Correct or not? Okay. This is your right hand limit. Now f dash x. Sorry. So this is your right hand limit. Correct? Right hand. So right hand limit of the function RHL. Now what about LHL, left hand limit? Is going to be limit h tend to 0 plus, again h tend to 0 plus f of x minus h minus f of x upon, this is going to give you minus h. Correct or not? This is how you need to calculate LHL and RHL. So now let me go back and talk about x equals to 0. Correct? At x equals to 0, this is x equals to 0. So x equals to 0 pe f of h minus f of 0 upon h. Okay. So f of h, can anybody tell me what is f of h? Clearly, f of h will be h square cos of pi by h, where h is positive. So this time, can you see, that means you are talking about h greater than 0. H is always positive, I have told you, na? So h square, now mod will be positive. So this is going to become h square cos of pi by h upon h. Correct? Now 1h and 1h if I cancel, I can clearly see 0 into cos infinity. 0 into cos infinity. Now cos infinity is a finite number. Come on. Cos of anything lies between minus 1 to plus 1. So this thing is lying between minus 1 to 1, and this h over here is 0. So this is going to be a clear cut 0. Perfect. Getting it? So this is your right hand limit at x equals to 0. Now ma'am, what about left hand limit? Same thing you have to do. So if you put x equals to 0, so this is f of minus h. Now understand, mod is there. So this is minus h whole square is h square. Cos of minus pi by h. Cos of negative is cos positive only. Cos minus theta is cos positive. So again, this time also your modulus will get open with a negative sign. So h square cos of pi by h minus sign will get absorbed upon minus h. And this is going to give you, understand one more time. So this is minus h. So minus 0 into this. So 0. So clearly right hand limit, left hand limit, both are coming 0. That means fx is the definitely differentiable at x equals to 0. Are you getting my point? Are you understanding it clearly? Is there a clear picture? Yes, solution of triangles is there. Now, is there a clear picture about x equals to 0 at least? Now we will talk about x equals to 2. So again, tell me f dash 2 plus, basically we are talking about the right hand limit. F of 2 plus h minus f of 2 upon h. Correct? This is your right hand limit. Right away we can calculate. Now 2 plus h, hold on. Be very mindful about this modulus. So f of 2 plus h will be 2 plus h whole square. Okay ma'am. And this is mod of cos pi by 2 plus h. So mod cos pi upon 2 plus h. Okay ma'am, mod close. Minus f of 2. So if you put 2 over here, 2 square into cos pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0. So this is your 0 upon, you are going to get what? 2 plus h. x plus h minus x. So 2 plus h. So 2 plus h minus 2. H. Okay. Alright. This is what you are going to get. Clear? Okay. Now understand one thing. Cos pi by 2 plus h. So pi by 2 plus h. Pi by 2 where? Tell me one thing. This is your pi by 2. Okay. Pi by 2 plus h. So if you slightly increase your denominator, your value will decrease. So it will lie in first quadrant. Okay. Pi by 2 plus h will lie in first quadrant. First quadrant where cos is positive. So this is 2 plus h whole square. And this is your cos pi by 2 plus h. And this is your h. And this is, so now this is going to give you what? 2 plus h whole square. Hold on. Okay. So now this thing over here 2 plus h whole square. Now 4 plus h square plus 4h. Okay. Now let me go back. This is cos pi by 2 plus. So cos pi by 2 plus h. Okay. And this is your h. Perfect. Okay. Alright. Now understand, if I just take the limit of this expression. So clearly what we are going to get over here is 4 plus h square. So this thing is gone. This is 0. See, this thing is becoming 0. This is 4 cos pi by 2 plus h upon h plus 4h cos pi by 2 plus h. Oops. Okay. This is what we are getting upon. So h by h. Perfect. So now if you put h is equals to 0, this is going to give you 0. So this is the gone. I am only interested in this. See, what is this? 0 by 0 form. Can you see 0 by 0 form? So we need to differentiate this by L'Hopital. 0 by 0. So 4. Now 4. So this is going to give you what? Cos ka minus sine pi upon 2 plus h. And if you differentiate pi upon 2 plus h ko, so pi will be this. So this is minus of pi 2 plus h whole square upon h ka derivative is 1. Now put h is equals to 0. If you put h is equals to 0, sin pi by 2 is 1. And 4 kahan se aa gaya? So this is going to give you minus 4. And if you put h is equals to 0, minus 4 by 4 pi. Yes. So minus pi is your right hand limit. Okay. Right hand limit is minus pi. So one more time I'll make it a little bit more clear. This is right hand limit. F dash 2 plus is this. Okay. Very obvious. Correct. Now f of 2 plus h, if I put, so 2 plus h whole square and 2 plus h right here, f of 2 is going to be 0 and upon h. Okay. So this is what you are getting. Now expand it one by one. So if you expand this, you will get this, multiply this. Now understand, h square upon h will be what? H only. H is 0. So 0 multiply anything will be 0. So that's why I have removed it. Now 4 multiply cos of pi by 2 plus h. Again constant multiply pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0. So this is also gone. Only this term. H cancel. 4 cos pi by 2 plus h is left out. Okay. So this term is pending right here. So 4 cos pi 2 plus h upon h. Not this term. Okay. So now you just have to apply what? This is the thing. And this is 0 by 0 form clearly. Cos pi by 2 is 0. And this is also 0 clearly. So over here we are going to apply L'Hopital. So L'Hopital I have applied to solve this. Okay, so L'Hopital may you differentiate cos ka derivative is minus sin pi by 2 plus h Pi will be constant 1 upon 2 plus h derivative. We are differentiating with respect to h. So you are going to get 2 plus h whole square. And if you put h is equals to 0, sin pi by 2 is 1, minus 4 is right here. If you put h is equals to 0, 2 ka square 4, so 4 cancel, and you are going to get minus pi as the answer. Okay, so there are plus pi will be the answer of right hand limit. Now similar thing you have to perform with left hand limit. Let us come and see left hand limit now. So x square cos pi, so left hand limit. Now LHL. So LHL at x equals to f dash 2 minus is going to give you f of 2 minus h, where h is still positive, minus f of 2 upon minus h. F of 2 is 0, so 2 minus h will be 2 minus h whole square mod cos pi upon 2 minus h. Now understand, pi upon 2 minus h, this lies in second quadrant. So now you have to open it. Upon h is negative, h is already there. Now you have to open it with negative sign. So 2 minus h whole square, this will get opened with a negative sign cos pi upon 2 minus h, and minus h was right here, and what you're going to get is this is gone, this is gone. Now expand 2 minus h square. Okay, so 4 plus h square minus 4h, this is cos pi upon 2 minus h just upon h. Okay, so separate it out now. 4 cos pi upon 2 minus h upon h. Okay, so this is again a 0 by 0 form, plus h square upon h. So this is going to be 0, and obviously if you cancel h and h, 4 cos pi 2 minus h. So this is again 0, so minus 0. So this is what you are going to get. Again you are going to apply L'Hopital. So 4 minus sine pi upon 2 minus h, correct. Now pi upon 2 minus h you have to differentiate. So pi will be as it is, 1 upon 2 minus h, negative of 2 minus h whole square, and because it is minus h you have to apply a positive sign. Now you put h is equals to 0. The moment you put h is equals to 0, this is again 1. This is what? Pi by 4, correct. So minus 4 pi by 4, clearly minus pi is your left hand limit. LHL is coming out as minus pi, and RHS was coming as plus pi. LHL is minus pi, RHL is plus pi. So over here, this is non-differentiable at x equals to 2 or x equals to 2 upon any odd number. This is how this question is done. Let me know in case any doubts. Okay. Alright, clear. Board series will start from 10th February. Today is already 8th, okay, Saturday. So from Monday, you will see boards lecture from your chemistry and mathematics, okay. Alright, then we are having another question on your screen from the world of quadratic equation. Now this question you are going to enjoy a lot, because this question is very fun. In fact, a student who is in class 11th also now, and some students in class 10th will also be able to understand if you just know the basics of quadratic equation. Okay, alright, let us understand. So this over here is A, B, C are positive integers such that A greater than B greater than C. A greater than B greater than C. And the quadratic equation is given. And they are saying that this quadratic equation has a root in minus 1 comma 0. Are you getting it? Are you understanding it? So first of all, the very first thing, I have taught you this in JEE main also, that there is some cyclic order is getting formed. If you guys are having, if you guys are having slight observation skills, manipulation skills, then only you will be able to understand that put x equals to 1, put x equals to 1 and it will satisfy. If you put x equals to 1, what will you get, ma'am? A plus b minus 2c into 1. So see, a plus b minus 2c plus b plus c minus 2a plus c plus a minus 2b is equals to 0. So it is actually satisfying. Plus a minus 2a gone. Plus b minus 2b gone. equals to 1 is getting satisfied. Number one thing. That means we know at least one root of this quadratic equation. Yes or no? Right or wrong? Okay ma'am, got it. So one root, that means this quadratic equation has one root x equals to 1. That to we already know. Now to we know. Okay ma'am, got it. Another root. Now if I talk about another root, they are saying that another root lies in -1, 0. Right or wrong? So another root is negative root. One root is positive, we can see. Another root is negative root. So first thing which we can say from here is we have a one root positive. Okay, one root of this equation is positive and another root is negative. Other is negative. Negative, correct? So what do you think that if one root of a quadratic equation is positive, another is negative, that means product of root will be negative. Right or wrong? Product of root will be negative. So what is the product? Alpha, beta, product. So this C upon A, that means C plus A minus 2B upon A plus B minus 2C is negative. Understanding my point? C upon A, constant upon A. Are you getting my point? Yes, so this is the first thing. But ma'am, B plus C is greater than A. What are they doing? We don't understand. Okay. Let's do one thing now. Let's do one thing. If I talk about A plus B minus 2C, right? So this, I'll talk about this. A plus B minus 2C. Very easy. Just tell me A plus B minus 2C. Can I write it as A minus C plus B minus C? Now tell me. A minus C. A is greater, C is smaller. So obviously this is a positive number. B minus C is also a positive number. Sum of two positives. So that means A plus B minus 2C is a positive quantity. So over here, what I'm trying to say is numerator upon denominator is negative, but this thing is always positive. So this has to be negative. This has to be negative. So C plus A minus 2B is less than 0, or you can say C plus A is less than 2B. C plus A less than. Option B is absolutely correct. Yes, VJP, I am here. Option B though is definitely correct. Okay. Alright. Now, both roots of given equation are rational. That's what they are asking. Understand one thing, that C option is definitely correct. Why am I saying this? Because A, B, C are positive integers. Correct? And if A, B, C are positive integers, then this equation roots will be rational. Okay? This equation roots will be rational. Why am I saying this? See, first root is x equals to 1. That too we know, na? First root of this equation is x equals to 1. See, I'll have the solution. So see, f of 1 is equals to 0. So 1 is one root. Okay. Then we are having, okay, we know that one root is rational. So other root must be a rational number. Why? Because see, it cannot happen. Suppose I say one root of this equation is 1, another root is 2 plus root 3. Then sum of roots will be what? Tell me ma'am, 3 plus root 3, and product of roots will be 2 plus root 3, which cannot happen because sum of roots will be minus of this upon this. So this cannot be irrational, right? So if we want our sum of roots minus this upon this to be rational, other root has to be rational. So one root is so x equals to 1, it is rational. Another root has to be rational. Okay, so basically there are two possibilities. If you have coefficients of quadratic equation rational, then there are two possibilities, that both roots are irrational or both roots are rational. Here, one root is rational, so other root has to be rational. That is why option C is absolutely correct. Are you getting it? Okay. Yes. Okay. Now the equation has both negative real roots. The equation is having both negative real roots. Okay. So understand, if I put x equals to minus 1 in this, I want to put x equals to minus 1 in this. Why ma'am? Why minus 1? All of a sudden this is another equation. Why are you thinking putting? I will show you why am I doing this. Put minus 1. If you put minus 1, what will you get? Ma'am, a plus b, a minus 2b plus c. So if you put negative minus 2b plus c, you will realize that at x equals to minus 1, c plus a minus 2b is negative. So at x equals to minus 1, you are getting a negative value. Okay. First of all, in the question itself, they have mentioned that a, b, c are positive integers. So if I talk about this, so graph of this will be upward facing parabola, number 1. Now at x equals to minus 1, you are getting a negative value. So this is this type of parabola. Okay, correct. This type of parabola. So this is negative. So now see, one more thing, product of roots. Can you see? Product of, can anybody tell me sum of roots? Sum of roots is minus 2b by a. Sum of roots is minus 2b by a, which is negative. Sum of roots is minus 2b by a, which is negative. Ma'am, why negative? Because b and a are positive. So clearly your sum is negative. Just tell me, you have two roots whose sum is negative and you have two roots whose product is c by a, which is positive. Any two numbers whose sum is negative, product is positive, come on, it is not at all a rocket science. Sum is negative, two numbers. 10th class students will tell me, just think about it, two numbers are there. If I add them, I'll get a negative value. If I multiply them, I'll get a positive value. That means both negative real roots. D option is absolutely right. So I do feel this is a very, very good question. Okay. Do it on your own after this session and you'll be like, ma'am, we are liking it. Okay. Alright. Now, the next question is from inverse trigonometric function right away. Okay. Easy question. Not a very difficult question if you know the summation series in inverse trigonometric function. Okay. So now r power 4 plus r square plus 2. First of all, understand that whenever you get this tan inverse में summation na, you have to just convert that tan inverse okay. You have to convert this tan inverse thing. Let me just tell you. Tan inverse, right? X minus y upon 1 plus xy is equals to, forcefully you have to do that. This is the drill, this is the trick. Tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. This is the trick, or you can say drill, to solve these type of summation related question when it comes to inverse. These are very popular question. If you have studied end to end inverse trigonometric function for JEE main also na, then also you'll remember, acha, these type of question ma'am we have seen. So what you have to do is, this is your tan inverse, okay? So you have to understand that, you have to keep in mind that tan inverse x minus y upon 1 plus xy. This is what you have to create, and after that next step will be just write tan inverse x minus tan inverse y. Are you getting my point? So this is already given to you. Okay, so if I just write this tan inverse, sigma vigma we will talk about it a little later. Tan inverse, now upon, can you see 1 plus, this is r power 4 plus r square plus 1. Okay, now r power 4 plus r square plus 1, come on, who have done JEE in preparation nicely? I have taught you this many times, at least 7 to 8 times. This is a very popular expression. R power 4 plus r square plus 1 is nothing but r square plus r plus 1. Factorization, r square minus r plus 1. This is how it is. Okay. So now in the next step, I am going to break it down, tan inverse. Because I want 1 plus xy. I want to split this into two terms. R square plus R plus 1. R square minus R plus 1. Correct? Okay, this is X, this is your Y. Now in the numerator, you want to express the numerator as a difference of these two. If you subtract this and this, tell me. R square gone. 1 also gone. R minus R will give you 2R. So this 2R now will be replaced by R square plus R plus 1 minus R square minus R plus 1. Can you see this is your X? Tan inverse X minus Y whole upon 1 plus XY is nothing but tan inverse X minus tan inverse Y. Okay. Alright. Now you just have to, R is equals to 1 to 50, right? So tan inverse sigma R equals to 1. Now apply sigma, na? R square plus R plus 1 minus tan inverse R square minus R plus 1. Correct? Okay, sigma. Now, put R is equals to 1. So, sigma is done. So, term number 1. Can anybody tell me, ma'am, term number 1 will be tan inverse. So, 3 minus tan inverse 1. T2. Tan inverse. If you put 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus tan inverse. This is if you put 2, 4 minus 2 is 2. So this is 3. And all the way up to T50. Correct? T50, tell me. Tan inverse 50 square plus 50 plus 1 minus tan inverse 50 square minus 50 plus 1. Now start cancelling. Can you see tan inverse 3 is gone, tan inverse 7 is also gone, this term is also gone. So sum will be equals to tan inverse 50 square is 2500, 2551 minus tan inverse 1. Now apply again tan inverse X minus tan inverse Y. So sum will be equals to tan inverse A minus B 2550 whole upon 1 plus 2551. So S is nothing but tan inverse 2550 whole upon 2552. This is your tan S. Now this is your S. Now they are talking about cot S. Cot S is this. Hold on. Okay. So cot of tan inverse 2550 upon 2552 is equals to 2552 upon 425k. Find the value of k is what they are asking. Okay. So cot of tan inverse. Tan inverse can be written down as cot inverse 2552 upon 2550. Cot inverse gone. This is 2552 upon 425k. Cancel. So your k is going to be 2550 upon 425. Calculate. Now 5k table se 5 ones are 5, 5 8s are 40, 5 5s are 25. This 5 5s are 25, then 0, and this is 5. Sorry, 5k table se kaat rahe ho na, 510. Now 5k table se again 5 ones are 5, 5 7s are, and 5 ones are 0 5. 105 by 17. 17 5s are कितना होता है? 17 into 5 can anybody tell me? 7 5s are 35. 5 6 7 85 होता है, 105 नहीं होता है. तो 105 by 17. Okay. So value of k, let me check. Value of k is 6. Huh? K की value they are saying 6. Hold on. 6 आ रही है क्या? 425 is equals to 2550. Okay. So k की value of, what is the value of k then? Is it coming? Value of k should be 6. Tell me in the chat box. Have I done any mistake? Yeah. Okay, so just calculate it. I think you will get the value of k. I'm not gonna do the calculation. So 425 and this. See, 425 into 6 कितना होता है? 6 5s are 30, 6 2s are 13, 14, 15, 1 carry, 6 4s are 24 plus 1 25. Yes, actually yes, this is 6. K is coming out as just 6. Okay, alright, done. Next question on your screen is from the world of probability. Yes, Daksh. Okay, alright. Now, the next question on your screen is from the world of probability. Not a very difficult question, I would say, but good question, because probability, when it comes to probability and matrices, the question is of good level. A is a 3 cross 3 matrix with entries from the set -1 0 1. Okay. So now looking at the answers or options also, you should understand 3 cross 3. 3 cross 3 means 9 elements are there. Correct? 9 elements are there. Okay. That means every element, see, for a 3 cross 3, understand you have 9 elements. So this element has how many options? It can be either 0 or 1 or -1. 3 options. Then we are having 3 options. Then we are having 3 options. 3 options, 3 options, 3 options, 3 options, 3 options, 3 options. 3 power 9. Okay. 3 power 9. So basically total probability or total outcomes जो होते हैं, total probability is 3 power 9. Total possible ways, total outcomes is 3 power 9. What about favorable outcomes? Now understand. Favorable outcomes, what do they want? Entries from this set, probability that A is neither symmetric nor skew symmetric. That means favorable outcome means 3 power 9 minus number of symmetric matrix, number of symmetric plus number of skew symmetric. Okay. Alright. Number of symmetric plus number of skew symmetric. Now this question is a good question. Do you know what is a skew symmetric matrix? What is a symmetric matrix? So symmetric matrix 3 cross 3, let me tell you how does it look like. First of all, the diagonal elements can be anything. We are not bounded for diagonal elements. This is symmetric. Okay. So this is diagonal elements, 3 options, 3 options, 3 options. So 3 power 3. Okay. Now non-diagonal elements, if I talk about this element. So if this element is 2, then this element has to be 2. Conjugate elements should be equal. So that means if I just have a choice, suppose if I pick that this should be -1. So this also should be -1. Both elements should be same. So we don't have choice for this. If we are taking choice for this, so this is एक के साथ एक free. Buy one get one free. This is if you pick for this is already done. You don't have to do anything for this. If you pick for this is also done. Okay. If you pick, this is also done. Correct? So diagonal elements 3 power 3 and 1, 2, 3. These 3 non-diagonal elements, automatically these 3 will get filled. So 3 power 6. So 3 power 9 is total elements minus 3 power 6 will be number of symmetric matrix. What about skew symmetric matrix? Now skew symmetric matrix may it is fixed that your diagonal elements are 0, 0, 0. Diagonal elements are 0, 0, 0. Okay, diagonal elements may no need to do anything. And whatever, suppose you pick -1, so you are going to get pick 1. If you pick 1 for this, so this is going to give you -1. Basically, the conjugate elements should be of opposite sign. So again, you have to worry about just these 3 elements. These 3 elements, can you see 1, 2, 3, and these 3 will already getting satisfied. So again, this is plus 3 power only 3 because this time diagonal elements has no option 0, 0, 0. Okay, ma'am, perfect. But are we done? Are we done? Is there any matrix which we have counted in symmetric and in skew symmetric? This is something which is a little bit on trickier side. Yes. Null matrix. Null matrix is that matrix which is symmetric, which is satisfying the condition of symmetric matrix, and which is satisfying the condition of skew symmetric matrix. So null matrix, I have counted it here and here. So you have to subtract it. This is your favorable outcomes. And Sai, you don't have to calculate. You just look at the options now. So 3 power 9 minus 3 power 6 minus 3 power 3 plus 1 is your favorable outcomes, which is clearly can be seen in option A, and this is your total outcomes. So this is your clear-cut correct answer of this question. Okay, good question, I would say. Doable question, okay. But this plus 1 is something which makes this a little tricky. Now understand, one more time I'll show you the solution. Total number of matrices, yes. Number of symmetric matrix, 3 power 6. Number of skew symmetric, 3 power. 0 matrix is both symmetric and skew symmetric. That is why we need to like subtract 1. So minus minus plus 1 will be happening. And now we are going to go towards your geometry based question. Circles. Very good question. And I love this question. Okay. So we are going to solve it. I am super duper excited to solve this question and plot the diagram also. So the question says, first of all understand the question. If two circles having radius 4 and 9. So I am going to draw two circles. Two circles having radius 4 and 9. This is your 4 and the next will be this. A little bigger. Perfect. Okay. So now understand what I am trying to do. I have taken some time in drawing this. If two circles having radii 4 and 9 touch each other externally, radius of the circle, now there is a third circle, okay? Third circle touching both of them externally. Okay, so I actually want something, see, I think I should first of all draw a line. Draw a line which is a straight line. Okay, ma'am. Then I have to draw a circle, a small circle. Okay, and then a big circle. Touching this. So yes, now this looks perfect. Then there is another small circle whose color is, let's say, green. And it should look like this. Yes. थोड़ा सा नीचे आ जाओ, थोड़ा सा छोटा हो जाओ, थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे टच कर लो. Oh right, absolutely. Now we are done. We are good. Okay. So two circles having radius 4 and 9. 4 and 9. Touch externally, then the radius of circle touching both of them externally and also common tangent of circles is basically what they are trying to say is all three circles are touching each other externally. That is number one thing. And there is one common tangent to all three circles. First circle is having radius 4, but I am going to mark it as R1. This is your R1. Second circle is having radius R2. Third circle is having radius R. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is R1, R2 and R. What I'm going to do is, I am going to join centers of the circle. Number one thing, centers of the circle I am going to join. So this is how it will look like, number one. Okay, then this is also, then this is also it. Okay, now I am going to do some construction which is not at all a very big deal. Okay, so so this radius is R1, this radius is R2 and I am going to drop this. Okay, some construction. They are talking about radius of this small circle. So only geometry is something which we have to figure it out. I am going to join this from here till here. Now tell me, this whole thing is R2, right? Can you tell me what is the length of this length? Okay, so this whole thing is R2. Yes, ma'am. What about this? Is this R1? Yes, so this is also R1. This is also R1. So this thing over here is R2 minus R1. What I am trying to do is 3 Pythagoras theorem I am going to apply in this. 3 Pythagoras theorem, okay? So this length over here I will mark it as D. Can anybody tell me what is Pythagoras theorem? So can you see this is C2, this is C1, right? And this you can mark it as P. So C1, C2, P is a triangle which needs Pythagoras theorem badly, okay? So this is hypotenuse is R1 plus R2 whole square is equals to your perpendicular is R2 minus R1 whole square plus what about this? This is D. So this is D square. This is your first equation, right? Now same thing. Now you understood. Yes. Oh yes, you're getting it absolutely right, Sai. This is what the final result would be. Okay, Sai has already obtained this result. Now same thing we are going to do this over here. So now this is the center. Okay, we are going to join the center. See, this is your, if I join this and this. Tell me what is this length. So ma'am, this length is R. This length is R1. So this length will be R1 minus R. Yes or no? This length will be R1 minus R. What about this length? So this length will be, ma'am, R1 is the radius of this circle. R is the radius of this circle. So R1 plus R will be hypotenuse. What about this? This thing is actually D1 and this thing is actually D2 and D1 plus D2 is D. D1 plus D2 is D. So understand, D1 plus D2 is D. So 3 Pythagoras theorem are connected by D, D1 and D2. Okay. So in this triangle C1 and this is C. C1, C and Q. Let us assume this point as Q. This Pythagoras theorem badly required this thing. So which is now R1 plus R whole square is equals to R1 minus R whole square plus D1 square. This is your this triangle. And the third triangle right away, which is this. Now tell me, again I can to write it right away, right? R2 plus R whole square, just by looking at this, R2 minus R whole square plus D2 square, right? Now one by one solve it. So this is R1 square gone, R2 square gone. From here you will get 2 R1 R2. From here you will get minus 2 R1 R2 is equals to D square. So D from here will be 2 root R1 R2. This is your first thing, okay? This is D. D2 from here is 2 root R R2. And D1 from here is 2 root R R1, correct? So now plug in the value D1 plus D2 is equals to D. So D1 will be what? 2 root R1R plus D2 will be 2 root R2R. 2 root R2R1. Now this is a generic result. Okay. Now you have to plug in the value of R1 and R2, which is 4 and 9. So just put 2. So 2 to anyway cancel. Now you are having 4R plus root 9R is equals to root 4 9s are 36. 2 root r plus 3 root r is equals to 6. 5 root r is equals to 6. So radius of this circle is 36 by 25. So this is a subjective problem which we have just did right away, and you can do it, okay? Just like this. All right, clear, perfect, got it, getting it. Now let us move on to the next problem, which is the last problem. Okay, last problem of the day. Last problem of the day. Okay, all right. We've done so many problems already. Did we skip any problem? One. Okay, we have come so far. All right, another problem on your screen. Okay, a parabola is drawn. A parabola is drawn through two given points 1, 0 and -1, 0. Okay, all right. So parabola 1, 0 is right here. -1, 0 is right here. Such that its directrix always touches this circle. What does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? Directrix always touches the circle. Directrix, number one point. Number one point to be noted, my lord. Directrix is equals to tangent to x square plus y square is equals to 4. Can anybody tell me what is the parametric equation of tangent to this circle, ma'am? Yes, x cos alpha plus y sin alpha is equals to 2. Yes or no? T is equals to 0 say, right? And the point will be 2 cos alpha, point of contact 2 sin alpha. This is your directrix. So this is the equation of directrix. Okay? Alright. So this is your directrix. Now what I'm going to do is touches this. If the maximum possible length. Okay. Focus. Right? Parabola is drawn through. Okay. Now, for a parabola, do you know what is the basic of parabola? The very basic definition. Basic definition says that PS is equals to PM. What does that mean, ma'am? So, for a basic definition of parabola, S is your focus. This is your directrix, fixed point, fixed line. P is any point on the parabola, correct? P is any point on the parabola. Okay, PS is equals to PM. This is the basic of parabola. Number one thing, we just actually don't need this diagram. No need for this diagram. Now understand that we are going to use it. Let us assume that focus so we don't have now. So focus ke liye we have to assume that let's focus is x1, y1. Okay. Point on parabola. Can anybody tell me point on parabola is what? Ma'am, point on parabola is 1, 0. Okay. And obviously -1, 0. So now PS is equals to PM. Where P being the point on the parabola. So distance between parabola and focus. Tell me, ma'am, x1 minus 1 ka whole square plus y1 ka square is equals to. Now PM. What is PM? Distance of that point on the parabola with directrix. Okay. So PM. This is actually your P and this is your S and this is your M. Okay. So distance of, this is P, this is M. Distance between 1, 0 and this line, can anybody tell me? So ma'am, 1, 0. So this is 1 cos alpha. So that is just cos alpha minus 2 and whole square will always be there because square root and a distance. So this is it. This is the very first equation because point on the parabola is 1, 0. Now point on the parabola can be -1, 0. Same equation can be done by -1, 0. So x1 plus 1 whole square plus y1 square is equals to cos alpha. Okay, you can say minus sign will be absorbed. Okay, so I am going to remove it right away and I am going to subtract it. Subtract two equations you have got, right? So from here you will get x1 square. x1 square minus x1 square gone. Here plus 1 square gone. y1 square gone. So on the left hand side you are going to get minus 2x1 minus plus 2x1. So minus 4x1 if you subtract. On the right hand side now cos square alpha plus 4, cos square alpha plus 4 gone. So minus of 2 times 2 cos alpha. Minus minus cancel. So x1 will be equal to 4 minus 2x1 from here you are going to get what? Yes, 4, correct? So this is 4 cancel, 2 cos alpha. x1 is equals to 2 cos alpha. From here what you are getting is your focus x coordinate will be what? 2 cos alpha. Correct or not? This is your focus. Now if you put 2 cos alpha in place of x1, clearly your y1 will be getting, you will be getting your y1 which is plus minus root 3 sine alpha. These are your coordinates of focus. Now you have got the focus, correct? Maximum possible length of semi-latus rectum. Semi-latus rectum. Now understand this concept. This is your normal standard parabola. Semi-latus rectum of the parabola. You know 4 times a. So 4 times a by 2. So 2a is equals to semi-latus rectum. Yes or no? Now semi-latus rectum is also equal to, so this is your a, this is your directrix, this is your a. Distance between focus and directrix will actually give you semi-latus rectum. Yes or no? So you just have to calculate distance between focus and directrix and this is going to give you semi-latus rectum. So this is the point, you have to plug in this point over here. Distance between a point and a line, that's it. So, okay, you are calculating distance between focus and directrix. Okay, modulus, put 2 cos alpha. So 2 cos square alpha. Okay ma'am. Plus y1. So this is going to give you y1 if you put plus minus root 3 sine square alpha. Okay, and this is going to give you minus 2 upon square root upon 1. So this is how it is. This is your distance between focus and directrix. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now cos square alpha plus sine square alpha. So cos square alpha can now be converted into sine square. So you are going to get 2 minus 2 sine square. Understand? 2 minus 2 sine square. 2 cancel. So this is plus minus root 3 sine square minus 2. Minus 2 sine square. So plus minus root 3 minus 2. This is your sine square. Okay. This is what your distance is. Now what you have to do is obviously sine square alpha. So you have to adjust the value of alpha. So sine square alpha, put alpha is pi by 2 because you want what? Maximum possible. So that is why you have to put pi by 2 and now minus root 3 minus 2 will give you maximum value or plus root 3 minus 2 will give you maximum value. Just tell me honestly. Obviously minus root 3 minus 2, if you take mod, you are going to get 2 plus root 3. So 2 plus root 3 is the correct answer of this question. Let me have a look at the chat box. That yes, Sai, absolutely right. So I hope that you have understood that this thing. Okay, so all questions done over here. And now let me just, okay, let me just, okay, we are having, can you see Gopika ma'am on our screen? Okay, yes, Sai, absolutely right. Now if you are serious JEE advanced aspirant, okay, so let me read. Okay, yes, so JEE Eklavya crash course is going on for 2025, which will have our dedicated team. You can see over here, this is the ultimate rank booster program for all JEE advanced aspirant. Okay, So master teachers with 10 years of teaching experience are going to teach, and they are producing results since past 10, more than 10 years. I can't even imagine 20 years some teachers are there also. Then there is dedicated program for JEE Advanced though is there, but there is assistant for other examination. You can see WBJU, JEE, BITSAT, right? Test series is also there for JEE Mains. Test series is also included. You can see both attempt. Practice mock test every Sunday. So if you just click on view course plan, so this is your Crash, you can see Eklavya, and this is Crash Pro. What is the difference between Crash and Crash Pro? You can see right here that this is not available, this feature. Printed study material, rank accelerator book. All the questions which were taken today are from rank accelerator book. So that you will not get in the printed form. You will get it in PDF form. Then over here printed material, and can you see so many things are there. So who all are teaching in this batch? Can you see? Okay, so these teachers are already teaching since so many years in this batch, and all the toppers which you see after the JEE Advanced result, these are the teachers who have produced this results. Okay, so you can clearly see, and you will see the timetable. So buy full course. Without any further ado, I to think Eklavya is something. See, JEE Advanced ke liye not many online institutes are serious about JEE Advanced specific batch. So this is something Vedantu in-house JEE Advanced batch which you all should register. I think if you are a serious aspirant, and if you think that okay, I'll clear my what do you say, my JEE main cutoff. Okay, so we are going to meet again in the next session of JEE Advanced. Along with that, we are going to conduct so many important sessions for your April attempt as well on this channel. So stay tuned with this channel. If you have not subscribed, do subscribe to this channel, because so many important notifications, otherwise you're going to miss out. Okay, so this is me, your Ninja Ma'am, signing off, and I'm